Nope. We're just gonna go at it. It's started now, and what is up, everybody? What is up? I wanted to say, what is up, early birds? Because it's the early bird Artcast, and it's number 22. It was 21 last time, so we're of drinking age. So we can get, you know, we can get crazy on this show. So today I have Mr. Chris Isakson. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah.
Awesome. And you know what? I guess we were talking about a topic, and now that I'm thinking about it, um, I was thinking maybe we could talk about you. I think you're in the new anthology, correct?
Yes, I am.
Or you're going to be.
Well, uh,
Awesome.
well, I guess technically I am. I've been approved.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, you're in it. I just mean like the actual physical book. We're all going to be in in it.
uh,
um, but yeah, you have been approved. I have as well, which is awesome. I'm so excited. I didn't. I totally expected to not be approved.
Me too.
I was pleasantly surprised and got all excited and giddy once I found out. And yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be really cool. There's a lot of people. There's a lot more people this time around than there was last time. I think
Yeah.
last time there was like 20 something people, like somewhere around 20. Um, and
Now
this
I think
time,
Now I think it's what 31. Is it
yep,
31?
it is 31.
Ooh.
So, um, it's pretty cool. And it was kind of a crazy process trying to figure out how to do it like fairly and stuff. You know, because I'm like on part of the management committee, and it took a while for us to kind of figure all that out. We wanted to make sure it was as fair as possible and as inclusive as possible, and I think reducing it down to four pages was a big key to that. I don't
Yeah.
know, I don't remember who came up with the idea, but one of us ended up saying that, and once we kind of thought of it that way, we're like, oh well, we can fit so many more people in that way. So yeah, I was excited, and this is going to be a really cool book. Do you have any ideas yet of what you think you're going to do? Oh, and just so everybody knows, the theme of this, because last time we had the theme life and space, the theme this time is werewolves and unicorns, which is kind of weird but kind of awesome too. So, did you
Yeah.
have any ideas of what you were going to do yet?
Yeah, I already presented it. Well, like pitched it to the group earlier.
Hmm.
Yeah, and Mike Emirates seems to approve of it. So I just need to figure out um, how to fit it in the 4 pages.
Yeah, that's going to be the challenge.
I'm very much a long form story type of person. So limiting a story to 4 pages is going to be, I think, a big challenge for all of us, most of us.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it will be. It's arguable that it's actually harder to do a short story than it is to do a long story, because you have to kind of edit to a crazy point. I I'm doing the my comic every month or whatever, and so I always say, I'm gonna do um like 5 or so pages, and then this month and last month is gonna end up being, last month was 10 pages, and
Mm.
then this month is gonna be more than 10 pages, and the month before that was about 9. So even though I'm trying to go short, I end up going long still. So it will definitely be a challenge.
Yeah, I, I'm trying to. I think my issue is going to be trying to figure out how to pack as much information as I can in the 4 pages. You know,
Yeah.
like
Are you willing to share what your idea was or is at all?
I think not yet until I am like dead set on it.
Yeah.
I kind of want it to be cemented first.
Yeah. So, you know, maybe I should go take a look and see on the Facebook real quick so I could at least have an idea before I'm talking about it. But let's see. Oh, you know what? It's gonna share my screen if I do that. I could do it on my phone. So let's see. As far as condensing it though, it's tempting to get to do a lot of what do you call it? Exposition, when you're trying to condense a story, but you don't want to do that most likely. I mean, everybody has different styles, but I personally am more on the thing of I'd rather show but not tell generally, or show instead of in favor of telling. So I try to stay away from too much crazy exposition. Did you post it in the uh, the unit section, or did you post it in just the regular section?
I posted it in the one of the comments. It was what was that? I think Mike listed the steps.
Okay,
Something.
so that would be in the
No,
units.
yeah, it's in the unit section. I think a lot of people posted there. So yeah, as soon as I found that everyone was posting their pitch there, that's what I went for.
I haven't. It's weird. Like I don't get notifications for that. I don't know why. I guess
Hmm.
because it's like a private group, or maybe because it's in the units.
Excuse me.
So what are you working on right now?
Well, right now I'm just sketching something. Trying to get back into human figures. I feel like I don't do enough of them lately
Mm-hmm.
because my job kind of takes me away from it. So I'm trying to build up the old habits.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I do, however, have a piece that I am working on. Let's see. Um, I was doing some digital inks on this. Hold on, I'm just waiting for the other program to load.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, here we go. So let's see. This one. Is this the right file? I think it's the right file. Yeah, here we go. We got something.
I gotta look at the screen.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Is that I don't know the names of these characters. What's that guy's name again?
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist. Yeah, I've never read any of that or anything. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't read the books either. I just kind of finished watching season 2 of the show, and I don't know, despite it getting canceled, I actually really enjoyed it. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I've heard that, speculation that, yeah, that got canceled apparently. I think also Luke Cage did, but it's
Yeah.
because they are probably going to be doing a show altogether, because they said something along the lines of um, this isn't going to be the end of this character or whatever. I think the guy who plays Luke Cage said that. So
I think maybe they might do like a Heroes for Hire thing.
yeah,
That would be cool. Like a 2-character show.
yep. So don't you worry your little head.
Yeah. Oh man, this thing is turning out. Okay, I'm finding it harder to draw on the computer than usual.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just get rid of that. Let's start over.
Do you primarily draw on the computer, or well, I've seen you do traditional actually.
I mostly work traditionally,
Mm.
actually. So I'm. That's why I'm kind of struggling with this right now, trying to get my hand to work on the computer.
Yeah, you know what? I am not all that great at drawing on the computer either. I've been noticing lately that I do love using the computer for certain things, but I actually like this piece right here. Um, I drew all on the computer, and it's kind of rough. Like I know it looks kind of cool, but like if you were to really get down and examine some of the lines, they're kind of rough. Um, but I don't know. I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm able to get the lines I want, but I'm definitely not really to the point where I'm comfortable. And I'm much more comfortable drawing on paper and then bringing it into the computer. And I think I actually do like to color on the computer.
Yeah, me too. I do like coloring on the computer.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not
So,
great at it, but like I do enjoy that,
hmm
or or at
yeah, I
least when
mean,
it
we're
turns
all
out to
learning and stuff,
be. Yeah,
right?
for sure.
um, what else was I going to ask you? I had something in mind. I'm still waking up, I think. Kind of had to catch up on some beauty sleep last night because I've been just kind of burning the candle at both ends lately.
Mhm.
I've been working on we were doing a lot of activity last week, especially and the week before on the anthology, trying to get that all ready for everybody.
Yeah.
So there was that, and then also I have a project I'm working on with a friend that we've been kind of throwing a lot of ideas back and forth. And then I have
Mm.
my own comic that I'm doing, and I'm doing this illustration too, which is like just an added fun thing. I mean, it kind of contributes to a project, maybe, but it's mostly I just wanted to do it for fun. And then also, I've been working on Shecember, trying to get that kind of back and organized and stuff. So that's been fun, but again, it's more. I'm just have so much on my plate right now,
Yeah, I understand you're a busy guy.
and
Yeah.
that's not even considering just regular life stuff, which is pretty crazy as well.
Yeah. Ooh,
So fun.
yeah. Ooh,
So, oh, I remember what I wanted to talk to you about. Now
yep.
on a private group that we have for Facebook,
Oh,
you've
yeah.
posted a lot of art where you're kind of doing some copying and stuff, trying to learn from other artists, which is a typical practice um,
Oh,
for
yeah, yeah,
for people. And I just curious, like, how's your experience with that? Like, do you feel like you're learning a lot? Because I think you're doing awesome with that, and I want to do the same thing. Like, I'm looking at like this Blue Bolt cover that I have up here, and like I want to learn how to draw women like these guys, these old classic guys drew them and stuff like that.
Ah,
So
yeah,
how's
yeah.
that been going for you?
Well, the as you may have seen the artist that I was mostly copying was John Buscema. Um, and come to think about it, when I first started learning to draw, the first thing I learned from was Marvel's How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way
Hmm.
by Stan Lee and John Buscema. So I guess technically he's probably my first teacher.
Yeah,
You know,
me
so
too.
yeah. So then when I looked at it, like there was when I looked at his art again after not looking at it for several years, you know, there
Hmm.
was there was a sense of reconnection, like I'm reconnecting to my roots from where it all,
Mm.
you know, and I don't know. There's a timelessness to his work, you know, like a lot of grace in his line work
Yeah.
that I don't know. It's just not done today in a lot of today's art or in comic books at least. I mean, so um, it's been great learning from the guy. You know, I kind of one of the biggest things that I've got into practice was feathering your lines. You know,
Hmm.
so it was like, you know, it's kind of hard to do it on a tablet, but so, when I was working on that Iron Fist that I showed earlier, that's kind of what I was going for, but trying to take what I learned from Buscema and then apply it into my own stuff. It's a
Yeah,
common practice, you know,
absolutely.
but really essential.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with learning from the greats, and so he's definitely one of them. And especially the classic artists, they tended to a lot of times everybody except for Jack Kirby
Hmm.
tended to really have a disciplined, well grounded, um, like um, I don't know, like their art was well grounded in like the fundamentals. You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah,
had a lock on their anatomy, and they were very. I think they were more versatile because of that. But then you got people like Kirby, which there wasn't many like him really, especially back then, who kind of went out of those boundaries, and in some ways more was opened up to them, because especially Kirby, because the imagination could run wild without as much restriction on like trying to make sure the anatomy's right and stuff like that and
yeah,
perspective. But at the same time, people like Buscema and many others, in some ways, if you think about it, they actually had more freedom and more just ability to do whatever they wanted, because they have such a good grasp of the fundamentals. So it's weird. There's freedom in both aspects, but
yeah,
I don't know. It's just interesting to think of, because I would love to know my anatomy the way some of these guys did and be able to pull off like I feel I have a hard time just putting putting a character on the ground in perspective, and they don't have any issues with that. They've done it a million times, so
hmm,
that's one of the things I really want to learn better.
yeah, yeah. This, I think Jack Kirby was a very creative. You know, I think he just does things that not many people did at the time. You know,
Hmm.
um, I'm starting to think like how many people he influenced in this generation of artists. You know, like I'm going through some modern books lately, and or modern comic books, and then you'll find artists that like their fundamentals are good, but then they're not as exciting in some way, you know, uh, until you find someone who does have his fundamentals down, and he does like really good work, and is just like very creative in his compositions.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Sorry.
Just
Yeah.
so everybody knows, Chris is at his job, so you're gonna hear some people doing some things. Usually, you hear like crazy music. It's been a while, since I've hung
Yeah.
out with you, but luckily they're
Sorry
not
about
doing
that.
that.
Yeah.
So, in the chat, we got some people hanging out. Teresa's in there. Dave Hingley,
Everyone.
Quay, Quay Storm. All the typical early birds are here, and they're saying hey and whatnot. Teresa said, or Dave was like, "Oh, well, this is the other Chris," and Teresa's like, "Well, I think of them as superhero Chris and cartoonist Chris." Which to me, I'm not. I guess the other. I guess Chris McQuinlan is cartoonist Chris, and you're superhero Chris. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. It works. Yeah. I am. I am the superhero, Chris.
Da-da-da-da.
Da, 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 da.
And yeah,
Like,
so what's up, everybody? Thanks for stopping in. If you have any thoughts or questions on whatever we're talking about, feel free to
yeah.
let us know. We got about 15-ish minutes left. So yeah.
Yeah. Just ask away. And I think I kind of wanted to show one of the artists I was kind of talking about, like when I was saying an artist that has his fundamentals down, but then really knows how to get creative with his illustrations. And I kind of found his work recently on Mark Waid's run on Daredevil, which ended a few years ago. But so the artist there was this guy named Chris Samnee. I'm not very familiar with his work, but if you go, his last name is Samnee,
Hmm.
and if you could just like go through this Google search right here, uh, he's just a phenomenal artist.
All right. So what you said? Did you say Chris Samney?
Yeah, Chris Samnee, another Chris. This is the
Yeah.
third one.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm digging it. It's from what you're showing, it's definitely got the stark blacks, kind of like my screen is not screen sharing. This is annoying. It's like doing that infinity thing. But yeah, it's got that kind of stark, dark kind of situation, kind of like Magnola, but it's also got a very different look too. So I don't know. It's interesting.
I feel like maybe he was influenced by Mignola. Yeah, he probably was.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah, I don't know why I can't get this thing to screen share on Clip Studio. Like it just doesn't have that option. Like it doesn't have the Clip Studio option. It only has like everything else.
Mhm.
I guess I'll put it on the chat so it's not going to infinity for everybody. All right. So let's see. I'm working on. You see, that's the thing is you guys can't see it, but I'm working on this Blue Bolt piece. And I don't know. It's been super fun. Trying
Just
to
to
do.
clarify, I can't see it either.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I wish everybody could, but that's all right. It'll be a surprise, I guess. I mean, I've already shared it a little bit here and there, but
Well, I think
oh
I saw
well.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
still trying to finish it up though. So yeah. Let's see what else.
Ooh.
That's not what I wanted to do. So yeah, it's been pretty cool trying to get the Shecember stuff going. If anybody doesn't know, um, Shecember is a challenge I created. That is, oops, I'm trying to. It's drawing women for the month of December. I think that part's kind of obvious, but you know, um, a lot of people have been getting interested in it, and it's been fun, kind of rallying the troops. But I did have a prompt list, and I had to do some changes. So I kind of had this bump in the road where I had to change the list after I had already published it. So that's been a little bit of it was a little bit of a headache, but it didn't take long to kind of fix it. But it's pretty cool though. Like, hopefully people will join in, and if you're listening, it's a cool challenge, and it's worth checking out.
I think I might give that a try. I mean, I didn't join it last. I did not join it last year, and I also didn't join Inktober this year. Maybe I
Mm,
could use uh, Shecember and Inktober in some way, like do ink drawings of women
hmm
up in December. Might be
There you
good.
go. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I think my comic book um, for that month for December is gonna be one with a female protagonist. So I'm just gonna kind of do that, Oops.
Mm, yeah, it sounds good. So, how, like, so you finish a book, like a short book every month.
hmm
So when did you start doing that? Like,
2 months ago. um, yeah, and
yeah.
it's kind of in an effort because this whole year I was planning to get a lot of short stories done or whatever, and you know I kind of went about that, but I was doing a lot of kind of preliminary work and like world building and stuff like that, and it just was I was never getting to the point where I was actually making comics, and it was frustrating me. So, I was like, I gotta just stop doing all this because it's I'm never gonna make anything, and I really want to put out, content often. I don't want it to be like I'm working for 5 years and I haven't gotten my first comic out.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
so, I was just finally got fed up enough to where I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start my Patreon back up, and I'm going to just make a comic no matter what happens. I'm going to make a short comic, 5 pages or something, and put it out to my patrons, and have my patrons, kind of keep me accountable. And at that point, I had closed out my Patreon and, didn't have any patrons. But now I have, 6 patrons, and it's growing, so that's cool. And I don't know, it's been working. It gives me just enough accountability, kind of push to be like to get stuff done. So I'm pretty excited.
Mm. Yeah, it sounds really good. Like, so you finished two stories then? If you were
Yep,
doing
I finished. I finished the first one was Darby Cufflink Avenger, Gentleman Avenger of Comics, um, and then the second one is the first part of Corncob Rob, and right now I'm working on the second part of that.
cool.
So yeah. Um, so yeah, I'm pretty excited, and this Corncob Rob comic it's crazy because it's like it's coming out to be like way more like in depth than I ever meant for it to be. Like it's
Mhm.
just like I had this character that people seem to like, and I just they kept saying, you should make a comic with it. Like one friend in particular was saying that, and so I was like, well, maybe I will since people seem to like it. And so I went ahead and tried to make a comic with it. And the first part is pretty simple, pretty basic. But as I'm going into like I wrote the script for the second part the other day, and it's like getting more and more in depth to where it's like this thing could actually have some legs and become one of my titles that I kind of put out and stuff and on kind of a semi regular basis. So I'm really excited. It's a cool story and it's fun, and because it's about like talking vegetables, I don't take it too seriously. um, so I don't know. It's just the right kind of project. So
I'm just like, and so each story is what, 10 pages long?
so far, the first story I did was 9 pages. This past one was 10 pages. This next one that I'm doing this month is going to be probably over 10 pages. So
Hmm.
yeah, this is not me sitting here trying to do my absolute best art. I mean, I'm trying to do my best within the time allotted, but it's not like me trying to like be Jim Lee or something like that. Like I'm doing the best I can with the time allotted, and I'm also working smaller than like the typical 11 by 17, so that takes the time down, and I can work on it wherever I'm at. So I can work on it at work you know, I actually did a video about this 2 days ago. I can kind of be mobile with it. Like I do work at like doctor's visits and stuff because it's not a visit for me, it's for my wife. So I can kind of sit there while she's doing her thing and
Hmm.
you know, work on the comic, and I get a lot done that way. I could sit on the couch while we're watching TV and get work done. So, that's how I'm able to get out, 10 or so pages. Like I feel like I could easily get out way more. I could probably get out a full issue doing it this way in a month. And that's pencils, inks, and lettering. Because of the process I have, and hopefully it's satisfying, and interesting, and people dig it, and if people do, then it's enough. To me, it's more important to get like my goal isn't. I do want to make like some amazing kind of comics like that. I'm looking forward to the day where I just do like 4 or 5 pages one month and just like put everything into those pages. But my main goal is to get as many of my ideas out there, because I love coming up with new ideas and making stories. So
Yeah. And you would improve over time, like the more comics you make. You know? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think so. So
I think more people should do that. You know, like just do their best to try and create a short comic each month. You know, I mean, I guess it is a challenge. You know, I
hmm
can't imagine finishing 10 pages in a month with the amount of time I have and working the way I work.
Yeah.
You know, I think I would have to take maybe three nights to finish a page, and that's from pencils to inks, and it's all traditional too.
Right.
Uh, uh,
Yeah, and I mean that's the thing is like I'm inspired a lot by like, the Marvel method, by how crazy Jack Kirby worked and stuff like that. And
yeah.
I mean, I'm just inspired by this kind of quick moving kind of process, and I'm so sick of being stuck in like this process where, I'm constantly getting ready to make comics but never actually making comics. And or taking forever to make one little 5-page comic or something. And it's just like I can't do that anymore. I don't have enough time. Like people were saying, like a lot of people say, well, I don't have enough time, to make, full comic stories, but like I don't have time not to. Like I have too many ideas. I need to like get them out as soon as possible. I only, have so much time living on this earth. I'm going to be 40, in February. I'm ready to like just make stuff happen.
They say life starts at 40.
Is that what they say?
This is what I heard.
Yeah, all right.
Wisdom. That's where all the wisdom is.
Yeah. Oh, so is that what you're doing? You're trying to kind of imitate that guy's style now with this Daredevil headshot?
I guess not. Not really.
No, just going for that stark
I,
black thing.
yeah, just going for it.
It's cool. It looks really awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing your comic when it's done, because you know you're really good at what you do, man. I always dig the stuff I see from you. So
Thank you. It's very nice to hear. Yeah, like I'm really looking forward to the anthology. When the first one came out, I was actually a new member to the hundreds. Like I'm not even sure how long I was on the group yet, but I wasn't qualified to be part of the anthology. So now that I've finished, like I've had a perfect run on the 100-day challenge. Like I'm finally part of the anthology. Like yes, I get to be part of something. I'm included now, and
and even back then, I think we all considered you part of it. It's just there was I guess you have to kind of complete the challenge first. So that's all.
yeah.
But you did a good job with that. So I'm glad you're in this new anthology.
Me too.
We did have a couple little questions. I'll answer Dave's first. He was asking about Shecember, and he was asking if it was ink only. And no, Shecember is totally like it's an art challenge. Whatever medium you want to use, you can use. You can go to donkeyjawprojects.com/Shecember. And all the guidelines are laid out, but I made it so inclusive. Like you could literally do one piece and be included in it. You could do whatever you want. If you want to make, women out of, underwater basket weaving, that could count too. Like it doesn't matter. But, I think typically people will end up doing like inks, like kind of like an Inktober thing, or maybe like digital paintings or something like that. So it just happens to be what people tend to do. And then also Teresa was saying maybe we can talk about our experience so far finding commissions, because she knows we're both looking for commissions. And I'll answer that quickly, that I haven't been looking very hard lately, but I'm going to be jumping back into that pretty soon. So we'll see. But Chris, we're almost at the end. I kind of have to start wrapping up. But Chris, why don't you answer while I'm kind of getting that all set up?
Yeah. So I'm currently still waiting for more bites on it. I'm advertising to Facebook groups that are really focused around getting around commission work. So far, my only clients have been local, you know, and so I guess to the people that are in the chat and don't know, I'm from the Philippines, and the economy here isn't that great. So um, the my prices for a commission is $40 for like a full body sketch illustration. That's pencils and inks. And I guess to people from the U.S., that's an okay price. Maybe to from the artist side, it's pretty low. But once you bring that same price here to the Philippines, it's it's kind of hard to get clients that way, because not everyone's people here don't earn as much as they do in the United States.
Right.
So I'm really trying to reach out to clients in the United States, or like anyone who could pay the $40 so I have rent. No,
Yeah.
I need to be able to pay rent. My day job's not isn't it's not totally enough, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well,
Although
I would say that if you kind of the trying to do digital pieces and maybe just even make it so that that's all you will do, and then try to find people in the U.S. that might be a better route.
yeah, I was thinking about it, like just do digital pieces, so then I don't need to worry about shipping.
Exactly.
you know. But I like to
Well,
work on paper. That's kind of
can you scan in your inks and stuff?
yeah, I can do that. I can scan them.
Because that's basically been what my approach is. Start. I mean, I did do this piece I'm working on now is digital, but um, I think my best results come when I do pencil and inking on paper, scan it in, and then color it, digitally and finish it up digitally.
Mm. So do you still ship out the original illustrations or line work?
No, I mean, I haven't had really any commissions in that realm yet, but I don't know. I suppose if they requested it, I'd say if you pay for shipping or maybe for an extra cost or something else, I'll send that out. But yeah, I wouldn't do it just on every commission or anything. It would be like a special request thing.
Ah, yeah. I actually had like this one was kind of weird. Like I had a client. He he was a returning client, and really nice guy. And so he had me do this illustration, and it's going to be printed on some T-shirts for his little school that he teaches at, and um, he did not want the original line work. I'm
Hmm.
like, do you want the line work? Like, nah, just the digital would do. And he's local, like he doesn't need to pay for shipping fees. Just like meet up at the mall or something, and then just hand it over.
Huh.
Um, but like, uh, yeah, I found it weird that he did not want the original line work, like to frame and you know put on the wall or something.
Oh, that's interesting.
It was kind of
Um,
weird.
yeah, no doubt. So I will say I do have to. I got work. But if anybody wants to find Chris, First of all, his Instagram link is in the description. Is that where you'd like people to come and find you, or is there other places?
Yeah, it's at isketchson.com, or on Instagram. I mean, let me just write it out over here. My sketch. Hey, writing on the tablet is harder than drawing. I'll tell you that much. So you're
Yeah.
just if you could see that on my screen, isketchson. Yeah.
Awesome. I really on. This was fun. We got to talk about some cool things, and of course, I always happy to have you on again. And yeah, man, thanks for coming on. Thank you everybody in the chat for hanging out with us and asking questions and stuff. You guys rock. And everybody watching on the replay, you guys rock too. So other than that, you know where you can find me, donkeyjawprojects.com /Patreon, or actually, never mind, /December if you want to join that challenge, and just regular, you know, you can find all my links there. And also Marshall Lee _DJP on Instagram and Twitter. Other than that, you guys have an awesome Wednesday, and I will talk to you next time.
Stay awesome, everyone.
I like that. Stay awesome.